welcome. Today I'm going to talk a little bit through some terrain work that we're doing. So basically going to take you out of the workshop here. So this is the war bunker, and just outside in our garage, pretty much looks like anyone else's garage, full of fitness equipment that we wish we never bought. Wood. And these guys, these boards have been kind of kindly given to us by a local Wargaming group. They're a bit past their best by. They need a bit of love and attention. So, and they're all in a purple and with purple and green colour scheme. So we're going to basically work on these and try and get them, give them a bit of a spruce up, because they're absolutely fantastic boards. So my wife reckons I need to start with some poster paint and then do a bit of dry brushing and washes and stuff to try and, because we really want to use these perhaps as arid landscape scenery, and we'll just see how it goes. So yeah, so just gonna start by just putting some poster paint on, see how it goes from there. Okay, well, just started and hit a snag already. So I've got this, and you can see there it says it's about 600 millilitres, and I've used probably about a quarter of that, covering a quarter of a board, and I've got 3 of these to go. So kind of apparent to me that I need more paint, a lot more paint. What I want to do is avoid kind of painting this all one colour and then go, oh, actually do one board, one shade of brown, go and fetch something else and it's a different shade. So I'm going to do a rethink, and I've just been online and checked poster paints, and what I might do is I might make this grey, because white and black are really cheap. But this is one of the things, when you're painting scenery, of course, you need a real lot of paint, and when we're doing wargaming painting and we're kind of using one of these, this a small pot like this goes around a lot of figures like that, yeah. But when it comes to scenery, and when I've been painting some of our buildings over there, I realise just how much paint you use. You know, painting a building. You can see our buildings through there. When you start painting a board, it goes up by the same order. So the sheer level of paint that's needed, okay, caught me a bit off guard, but that's why I'm stopping now, and we'll come back again in a minute. Okay, back from the shops. I had hoped to find an industrial packet of this to be able to do the boards. Had to compromise a little bit. Yes, you can get these massive ones, but anything but brown or grey. So what I've done is I've bought white, because you can get white, and we have a black. Let's mix them together, see what colour we get. Should be a grey of some sort. So yeah, stirring it all up. You can see I'm getting a kind of really nice, that's a bit psychedelic monochrome there. That's just the kind of grey I think I'm looking for. This is the grey you're looking for. A bit of streaks won't be a problem. There we go. About 3 litres of poster paint, which should be absolutely, that should be enough to cover there. Don't you think?
Hi.
Do you think? 3 litres?
No.
They need more. Okay, that's a coat done. So that took me about half an hour. I'm actually quite liking that. It's quite thin, and in some places it's coming through a little bit. That's okay, because I need to. Don't want to make it too uniform. In fact, I need to kind of like patch over it a little bit to make it a bit dirtier, because it's, you know, dry brushing with different colours to highlight, etc, etc. think we're gonna. You can see this little. You can see much clearer on here. You've got these green channels, and I think we're gonna do them. Well, I'm either gonna do them blue for kind of streams, which would be pretty cool, or like a dark black for kind of like lava channels that have kind of cooled down. I'm not quite sure of which at the minute. I think basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint them blue, and if it works, we'll go with that. Okay, more to go. Okay, there we are. 3 got the first layer on, and they're looking pretty good, but a bit dull. What I'm hoping to do now is to get a bit of black and start kind of really putting a bit of wash on top. Well, not wash, dry brush, almost to try and dirty them up a little bit, and we'll see where we're on from there. And the idea from there is probably I'll probably need to layer on a little bit of black, a little bit of brown, and then a little bit of white as well, to kind of get that effect. And in fact, if you some good old craters, we used something very similar when we created these, and obviously it looked pretty good, starting from a grey. So I'm hoping to achieve the same kind of similar effect. We'll see. So this is really coming on quite nice. This has been about 24 hours. The garage here is a bit cool and a bit cold, and I did put it on quite thick, so it's still actually drying, believe it or not. You can see there's just some bits there that are still kind of damp. One thing I'm going to do now is I've got a cloth there, and what I'm going to do is dab it in a bit of black paint. Just try dabbing it on to see if I can kind of get a mottled effect. I've got to be really careful because of course I've got to use the camera, kind of paint, then clean my hands, because otherwise I'll kind of mop the camera up so fast. Let's see how that works. As you can see, this is all coming together quite good now. One of the problems with poster paint, my wife pointed this out after I'd painted everything, forgive me if I've just said it a minute ago, is it's water washable, which means that you paint it, it dries, it looks really nice, and then if you spill anything on it, it all goes off. And obviously this means, for instance, if we lean against it while playing, it's likely to come out on us. One cure, now this is what my local hobby store recommended, was to basically use a fast drying enamel on top to basically form a layer. So this has had 2 coats of paint, and in the craters I've basically poured in some PVA glue because it was a bit crumbly. That should hopefully dry clear and hopefully give a bit of a glassy look to it. And so far this has got two coats on here, and if I lick my finger and rub it, just no paint's coming off, which is fantastic. I'm going to put at least another coat on and see where I am from there. It's really smelly, which is why the garage door is well open, because I did the first coat of this in the garage, and it just kind of went through the entire house. As you can see, it's not the driest day outside anyway, so we're just kind of going to let it dry and see what it looks like tomorrow. And here we are with the finished product, and it really does look quite fantastic. It's so big actually I've had to stand on a chair just to be able to get the whole thing in frame. Just so you can get a sense of scale. That's a Vindicator there. But let's get down a bit, shall we? Whee! So here we are. It's just an absolutely fantastic surface. You can see we've got these. Remember, I put the PVA glue here, and it's kind of made a very dark kind of trench effect here. Typically, what we will do, got a little figure here. So So you can see down in the trenches, kind of gives some impassability. We've got, it just gives an absolutely fantastic texture to really fight your battles out. And it really gives a lot of character. So we're probably going to put a couple of bunkers. We'll be playing a game on this later. And yeah, you can see a good bit of character. Bleak kind of moon surface, pocked, trenched. Yeah, brilliant. A good nice little change from the original colour. And I'm just going to lick my finger, and you can see, you know, there's no colour coming up, bleeding out from there at all. It's all nicely sealed. Fantastic job. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it gave you some ideas for things you can do yourself. Catch you later.